Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel, RS Squared Technology. I am your host, Ryan, and you know it's official because I have a microphone that it isn't even plugged in. But that's not what we're here to see if I'm official in that capacity, right? So, this is going to be the start of my Bob Ross series, for lack of a better term, and I won't exactly call it that because, whoever owns the rights to Bob Ross, please don't come after me with this. Just having some fun. But this will be, if you will, my Bob Ross sessions of SOLIDWORKS, where it's going to be one take, and it's just going to be something that's either in my head or inspired by, in this case, an Instagram page photo, or, something I might see in every day, or just some wild, crazy thought. Eventually, coming soon on Mondays, I'm going to start a video series where I do a challenge part, which is I will make the first challenge based on a Google image or whatever, and then try to model it, and then from there, you guys can throw down in the comments which you want to challenge me to model next. I'll have more details and an intro video to that coming in July. But for now, let's get started with what I found on good old Instagram, and I will be leaving a Instagram handle in my link description below so you can follow them, as well as I'll leave my Instagram below so you can follow me too, because that would be much appreciated. I'd love you for that. So what we have here, and this probably is going to be impossible for the camera to make out, this is what we're going to make. Now what's kind of hard to pick out from what I'm showing you there, not all the dimensions are present. But that's okay, we're going to do our best with what we have given. There should be enough to make this happen. So with that being said, let's do a file, a new part, make sure that's selected, and click OK. Immediately hit Control S because we need to make this part. And let's say fancy toilet paper roll rev 1. You call it whatever you want. It doesn't have a name, not anywhere that I can see in the description. So, and then save. Why do I do that at the beginning? Because as you build your part, you're going to want to save often in case, I don't know, you lose power to your computer or SOLIDWORKS decides to crash. And yes, SOLIDWORKS can crash. It's very random. It's very minimal, but it could happen. And if you didn't save, that part's gone. There's like this much of a chance that I'm willing to trust that SOLIDWORKS will recover it, kind of like Microsoft Word recovers a document when like the power's lost. Wouldn't trust it. Create your save at the beginning, choose your file, and then Control S, save often. I mean, alternatively, you can go up here and choose the traditional method of save and doing save as if you want, but Control S, it's right there, right at your fingertips. So, let's get rolling with this, shall we? In the image, they choose the top plane to do the cylinder boss extrude. So we're going to choose a top plane, spacebar, normal to. Again, how about Control 8 to bring normal to? Pick your poison. Again, it's whatever's going to work most efficient and quickly for you to navigate SOLIDWORKS. Doesn't hurt my feelings if you change your mind on how you want to do something. And this scroll ain't going to care. Well, I don't know. Maybe based on that face, they're going to care. Hard to say. So, let us begin. We'll go into the Sketch tab, and I don't know what those things are called. I think it's... Now, an easel is the stand for a canvas. You know, the little piece that Bob Ross holds where he grabs the different colors of paints and gets his brush and hits the canvas. Well, this is that equivalent. Comment below what that is. Again, I don't paint, so forgive me for not knowing what it is. We're going to choose a circle to start, and we don't have a paintbrush. We have an awesome little number 2 pencil icon, as always, with the circle sketch icon right below it. Let us hover over the origin as we want to center this circle sketch / the whole cylinder about the origin. So hover over it till you get your little relation icon, the yellow box, and in this case it's a coincident. Click once, drag out. We have a circle. Maybe it's a radar because there's a line that's spinning around in circles. Just kidding. Focus. Click again to end that, and we're going to do it again because this is a thin-walled cylinder. I mean, if you will, it's a hollow cylinder. It's not a solid rod, for lack of a better term. So center, click the origin again, then click out. We're underdefined. Oh, and another thing. So I started this document in the inch-pounds second unit setting. So go up here and go to the options, then go to the document properties, then go to units, then go to McDonald's. Just kidding. Then you're going to click over here to choose millimeter grams second. Then click OK. We got to make sure we're in the right units of measurement, because I can tell you based on this image that I seriously doubt that this is a 30-inch offset sketch. You're going to see what I'm saying. So that took us out of the sketch. Never fear, come over here to the left, right click, click on Edit Sketch to bring us back in. Now from here, we're just going to do the smart dimensions, and I don't have the dimensions of the cylinder. No idea what they are. So I'm going to go based on this slot sketch, which is coming up next, and choose 30 mil. And from here, I'm going to choose a wall thickness of 1 mil. And then we can click OK to close the dialog and close out of that. Everything's fully defined, looking pretty. Now we're going to go over here to the Features tab, and based on where they show the top plane at, they show it as a mid-plane extrusion. My favorite. Center in all ways possible, whenever possible. Won't always be the case depending on what kind of parts and assembly you're trying to create. So we'll do the extruded boss base. Then we're going to make sure that mid-plane is selected. Right there. And again, I don't have the height of this cylinder. And so based on some scientific guesstimation, we're going to choose 50 millimeters. And hit enter, and then click OK up here on the left. Cylinder! Woohoo! The next thing we need to do is create a reference plane for this slot sketch, because then we're going to take the slot sketch and wrap it around our fancy toilet paper roll. So for that, we're going to make sure we're on the Features tab, and over here kind of in the middle you'll see Reference Geometry. Click that, we get the drop down, and we're going to select a plane. The plane needs some references on its own as well. So for what I'm going to choose from the flyout is the front plane, and then I'm going to make sure that it's 15 mil, which is the OD radius, because again it's a 30 millimeter diameter OD, outer diameter. Blech. So 15, and then we're going to select OK. Look at that beautiful plane, and the plane is selected over here on the left in the feature tree, so we can hit Control-8 to bring it normal to. Again, making sure it's still selected. We'll go back to our sketch, and then we're going to choose a center line to start. And here we have our magnificent little number 2 pencil back again. So from here, what we're going to do is hover over the top edge of the cylinder, and you will see a teeny little node box. That's going to be the midpoint of the cylinder in this 2D view here. There isn't actually a line up here, because if I hold this center mouse wheel, you can see there's no line. Well, there's an edge, and it's cylindrical, because we just made a cylinder, right? So let's bring the plane back. We're going to hover over it. We want to make sure that we get a relation icon. Click, and then come down here to the origin and click again. And then right click and choose select. This is reference geometry, if you will. The next thing we're going to do here is we're going to choose the slot command. And we want to make sure that this particular slot version is selected. So, and I'm going to draw this completely out of the plane. While the plane 1 is only just barely outside the size of the cylinder, it doesn't matter. We are on plane 1 no matter whether you sketch within it or outside of it. I will prove my point here. Massive slot. So we'll escape out, and the first thing we're going to do is press and hold the control key, hover over the midpoint of this construction line, and then choose the origin. And over here on the left, add the relation. Coincident. Relations, learn them, love them, use them. They help you to fully define your sketch, and they can help you to drive your sketch, just like dimensions will. And then we'll click OK there. So this thing is massive, and we can still tweak it in many different ways, but what we're going to do now to kind of define it based on the dimensions they have is choose Smart Dimension, and then we're going to choose the end point of the construction line at the top here and the bottom. Now notice something, the dimension can go 2 ways. Sorry, it can technically go 3 ways, and then it's just mirrored from there. So we can have it dimension out this way, we can have a dimension appropriate to the line's angle, or this way. So we're going to choose this horizontal dimension, if you will, for lack of a better term, and click, and then it's 30 mils according to the image. That has shrunk things down, which is good. We're going to drag this. Let's bring it in a little bit, folks, so we can not have such a small area to see what's going on. The next thing is, the other dimension provided is we only have to pick this point here and the top of the cylinder, and the offset is 10 mils. Still not fully defined. Now what is off the image, I can't see it because it's cropped out, is we need to define this width slash and or the radius of one of these arcs here. So we'll choose the Smart Dimension. I'm going to click the arc, and I'm going to make it a 5 mil. Now we're fully defined. And then escape. So from here we've got this fully defined slot. Now the next thing is we need to wrap this this sketch around the cylinder. So we're going to exit out, Control S, save often, again. Let's bring this back into a more three-dimensional view here. We're going to next go to the Features tab, and we're going to use a command which I haven't used in quite some time called wrap. And then we're going to choose this sketch. Now, notice something. Right now, it's like, okay, what am I wrapping around what? Well, I don't have a sketch that I'm wrapping around a face. So we got to choose something. There's a couple of different things to keep in mind for this. You can select the sketch, which is totally fine, but sometimes it might be messy and you want to be more precise. So maybe a better practice, you can be the judge of that as, again, you start to use and features and things like this. I would make sure that Sketch 2 is selected from the get-go, then choose the wrap feature. Now we're going to cut into the cylinder, so we're going to over here make sure that we choose the boss. I am the boss of this sketch. Ha ha ha! By default it may start you with the emboss, but we want deboss. And Sketch 2 is what we're going to wrap. Now we need this outside cylinder face. So we select here, and I'm going to make sure I'm clicking above plane 1 because I don't want to choose plane 1. And just like that, it is wrapped and it's going to cut through. Just kidding, because I forgot to switch back to deboss. Take 2. Haha! And voila, it's cut through. So now we're going to hide plane 1 because, you know, you've served your purpose. I am now going to choose a front plane, Control 8 to bring it normal to. I'm going to go to the Sketch tab, and I'm going to make a center reference line, and you're going to see what this awesome sauce does. And you may have noticed it from my last introduction video, what the purpose of such a thing would be. Can you guess? We're going to exit out. I'll bring this isometric view again, so we're three-dimensional here. And then what we're going to do is go over here to the Features tab, and you're going to see the linear pattern. We're going to do drop down and choose circular. And under direction 1, we're going to click next to this little half rotation arrow icon. We want to click in this box like crazy to make sure that it's in this box, and then select that. What in the world is going on here? Now, the instances that happen to just be within the crop of this image is 5. We're going to come down here under Features and Faces and choose make sure you're under the feature. We're going to choose the flyout, and we're going to choose the wrap. What? And look at that. And then we'll hit OK. And just like that, and as a final thing, we're going to right-click over the axis sketch and hide it. Control S, save often. And just like that, we've made what is in that part kind of close. Again, it's not 100% accurate because I do not have every single dimension that was used in there, but it's close. And then finally what they do is kind of a, trimetric. They tilt it and they do a sectional view here. So it looks something like that. That's their finished product. So that's it for this painting in SOLIDWORKS. Stay tuned this Friday for my more formal tutorial, where we have already kicked off the series with the first video, and we'll be continuing on with the actual beginning of the first part, where we go step by step in finer detail how to actually use SOLIDWORKS. So until then, stay classy. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.